So in this video, guys, I'll be talking about less versus fewer as an example of prescriptivism in real life. Okay, so here's the prescriptivist explanation. It says less is for uncountable, like sugar, salt, and fewer is for countable, like guitars, houses, ideas. Okay, but nobody would ever say he owns 25 houses, more or fewer. Yeah, which officially should be correct because houses is a countable noun and therefore we shouldn't use less for a countable noun. But the thing is, more or less is a set phrase which is applied to countables and uncountables. Yeah, so this phrase means that the less or fewer distinction is not perfect even from the prescriptivist point of view. Now, when self-service checkouts were created, lots of people, lots of prescriptivists said that this was incorrect when they said 10 items or less, 10 items or less, 10 items or less, 10 items or less. They said it should be fewer because you can count items, and less is for uncountable, and items is countable, therefore it should say 10 items or fewer. Yeah, but really this is an expression, or this is a reflection of how people actually use language. Yeah, prescriptivists would say that this is wrong, this is improper, it's incorrect, it's bad. Yeah, just like how what people say about escribistes, dijistes, or fuistes, or aiga. Yeah, some people have the same attitude about these aspects of Spanish language. Okay, now what does Cambridge say about this? It says you will often hear less used with plurable countable nouns. Yeah, in informal spoken situations. Yeah, for example, we've got less pizzas. Yeah, again, pizzas. Yeah, traditionally, according to prescriptivists, should be fewer pizzas, as you can see here. Okay, but nowadays it's only a minority of people who actually do that. So let's talk about sex now. Sex partners is countable. You can count the number of sex partners you have had: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore, we shouldn't be using less. We should be using fewer, according to prescriptivists. Now, the descriptivist says, well, what do people actually do? Well, let's analyze what people actually do.
Men reported to have significantly more prior sex partners, and women reported to have significantly less.
Significantly less. Talking about sex partners. Okay, so that's interesting, yeah, because traditionally that should be fewer, but she said less.
Than those men and women interacting with our mechanistic bot. Men want to look good by having more prior sex partners.
More prior sex partners.
And women by having less.
And again, she says less. Now, in traditional grammar, that should be fewer. Now, the descriptivist is interested in what people actually do and isn't really interested in the way language should be used or the way language is prescribed. Okay, so here's an example, a real life example of prescriptivism versus descriptivism.